Hello, welcome back to my channel. So now we are on this page, and the background is going to be a very simple background because what I'm going to attempt to do is make a creepy doll puppet. That is my prompt word, creepy doll puppet, or puppet, whichever. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the vanilla custard and the desert sand. I'm going to go over the entire thing with the vanilla custard, and then I'm just going to go over bits and pieces with the desert sand just to kind of grunge it up a little bit. And then I'm going to take the melted chocolate and just splatter it everywhere around the outside more so, just to add that extra bit of grunge. This is where we are at. Now what I have is I have just a couple borders. I just went and made me some really quick. And it's the pomegranate seed, and it is shadowed with the melted chocolate. So that's going to go down there. And then this one, the middle is the cherry pie with the pomegranate seed, and the others, so every other one is cherry pie with pomegranate seed. And then the in-betweens is the pomegranate seed and the melted chocolate. And that's going to actually go up there. So those I'm going to go ahead and get stuck down because they will go down on the bottom first. So I'm going to do that really fast, and I'll be right back. Now it kind of looks like a hot mess. But we haven't even made it to the hot mess point yet. Alright, what I have is from the Crown of Roses stamp set. I have got the head. And she's going to go somewhere around in here. I'm not sure yet. And then you're going to need to stamp out two of the bodies. So stamp, cut, and color them, but you do not have to color the back leg. Just the one that you see the entire shoe of. Do that on both of your bodies, because on both of the bodies you're going to cut the legs off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the legs off at this one right now. And only on one of them you're going to cut the arm off. Right here. Just like that. On the one that you didn't cut the whole arm off, you are going to take and just cut the hand off right about where the body goes. Just curve it around. Okay. Save those pieces. And here's one of the legs. And then you need to cut this other leg out here. I just have to make my life a little bit more difficult, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. So when it's all said and done, you'll have two of the bodies, one with the arm completely cut off and one with the little hand cut off, and just two of what I'm going to call the front legs. The ones you can see in the front. And then from the let's see, I think it's the Dylusions So Easy stamp set. I have these two little buttons. That is actually going to be her eyeballs. So one's going to go there, and one's going to go there. And from the Dylusions, I think it's called the Sampler. I have these stamped images. It's just one of the stitches that we are going to use as strings because we're going to make this a puppet. But I'm going to try and make it an articulated puppet. We'll see. Since the head goes on last, we're going to start building our pieces. So I'm going to slide this up just a little bit. The body that the arm is completely cut off goes on the top, and the one where it's only the hand cut off goes on the bottom, along those lines. And then you're going to take the 2 feet and kind of put them, it doesn't matter which way you put them, but I think I'm going to do it this way, where it's I mean, you didn't really have to cut the other, yeah, I don't know. You just want to put them how you kind of want them to go, but the 2 tops need to be kind of stacked on top of each other. Kind of like that. And what you are going to do, take your top body and find a good placement, because here's essentially what's going to happen. This is going to sit kind of on the little, what I'm going to call the floor. And that's why we cut the legs off, because I wanted them to move and be able to sit on the floor. Something along those lines. But the purpose is to be able to put a little brad in, a teeny tiny brad. So that's why you're stacking them. Now you could have probably just used the back foot, but you would have had to separate them so you could connect them together. I just, again, make my life a little bit more difficult. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to find me a good spot where they're kind of connected. Make sure you got plenty of room. And then you're going to take your pokey tool, whatever, and you're just going to poke you a hole straight through both pieces, but make sure you have enough room where it won't rip it. Even if one ends up being just a little bit shorter than the other. There we go. Something like that. Okay, now that you got that hole, you need to take and put the body on top. Find a good placement, so turn it around. From that same hole, you're going to poke all the way through to the front. Make sure you got enough room and poke it. Just like that. And then take your tiny little brad, stick it in that little hole. Oh goodness, it fights me every time. There we go. All 3 of them, pieces, and then open your brad up. Okay, and those should be able to move. However, yep, perfect. Now we are going to attach this piece to the body, the bottom body. Gonna line them up. And the only place that we're not going to put double-sided tape is where the brad is. So we're gonna go all around everywhere else. And the feet, you don't want to put it on the feet, just on the body. We're gonna put some double-sided tape everywhere else except for where the brad is and the feet. Now we are going to put this little arm on, and we're going to do essentially the same thing, except the brad is just going to go through to this side, or to this piece. And this is where we're going to put double-sided tape all over the bottom, even the brad, which, let me make sure that I can make that stick down and still be able to move. Yeah. So on this, we're going to put it on the brad as well, just not on the arms or the legs. Okay. Now before we do this, before we stick this down, this is where the other hand comes in. On this hand here, you're going to put double-sided tape on the top of it where you've colored it, or if you didn't color it, just where you stamped it out, like that. And then just on the back piece of the hand of the other one here, you're just going to put a small little piece of double-sided tape, just like that, because we are going to attach this and we're going to sandwich it. So like that, and then like that. That is going to help hold it in place. Okay, let's see where we need those to be. So here we have this. And whenever it's down all the way, you want to put them in the like closed position. By closed, I mean whenever it's resting. Let's set that right there for just a second, because I gotta see how far over or how far up or wherever this little body needs to go. Probably about here. Okay. Now, with them in that position, we are going to sandwich that between those. So that needs to go straight up like that, kind of. And the reason I'm doing what's called a dry run for a moment, so that way I can see which angles and which way what needs to be. And then this is gonna go like that, I believe, yes. I'll just set the head on top for a second. Alright, do we want these to join together more here? with them in that position right there, you are going to take your pencil and you are actually going to mark up on top where they go, because that's going to help you get the right angle beforehand. Alright, so let's glue the hand first, or let's do the hand first because it looks to be the easiest. To do that, you're just going to peel off the double-sided tape from here and from the other little hand. And then we are going to just put a very little bit of glue on top of the double-sided tape here, as well as this entire hand. Okay, that's a messy, messy, messy glue. Take the one that we had prepared for the hands. Oh goodness, that being covered in glue. Flip it around to where it makes it easier, and then line up your marks where you had them, just right there, and give it a good press. And then take your other hand and press it down on the back, line it up, and give it a good press as well. Okay. And now for the bottom, we're going to open up the little legs, and I'm just going to take and put a very little bit of double-sided tape just at the very tip of the back shoe here. And then, because those two are I'm gonna find out where I want them to meet up at. Somewhere along in there. Yes. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to mark it really quickly. And put me a little bit of double-sided tape where I just marked. Just a tiny piece. Alright, and then peel those off. It's going to be kind of difficult, but we're going to do it one piece at a time. I'm going to peel the double-sided tape off of this one first. Put a bit of glue. And then I don't know, I had to double check, but I don't know how far down that went on the shoe. So probably about, and these have to kind of be together some. Probably about here, I think. And then we're going to peel this front one off that we put the double-sided tape on. I'm sorry guys, this is a little bit confusing, but it's really hard to explain. Give it a little bit of glue and line up your marks back here. Alright, now we have, we'll set these down here, just like this. Okay. Now the plan is to use the head as the thing that kind of holds the lines behind. Or sorry, the strings behind. So if the body's in place, I mean, these would have to have their own little slide things. go ahead and get these eyes stuck on the head. All right, there, sorry. Now, let's see, what am I gonna do? Let's move this down a bit. So, what we need to do is I've got to figure out what to do as far as these go. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and get the body stuck down really fast. But I know that's where I need it to go, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make me a little mark back here with my pencil, so that way I know I get it back in the same place. Okay. Now, what I need to do is up here, I'm going to cut off the two top ones here to make it level. Okay. And then I have, this is 2 inches by 3/4 inches. It's just a little sticky tab. I am going to put double-sided tape along the inside. I took it and I folded it over in the middle, so it's actually 1 inch by 3/4 inch when it's folded. But I'm going to put double-sided tape all the way across. I think I'm going to give it a little bit of color. So what I might do is I might just take this cherry pie and pomegranate seed, and I may just go in and give it a really quick coloring. Okay, so now I have my tab colored, and when it's folded in half, it's 1 inch by 3/4 inch, and I am going to put these in their resting position, because this one did kind of move a little bit, so I'm going to turn it back where it was, if it will go back. And I am going to essentially put these inside of here and close it down, and then that's going to be the pull tab on that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Peel this back off and get it glued together. Now we need to get the head put on, and in order to do that, because I need to be able to move these side to side just like that, and it kind of, you know, I've got to see how far this goes or can go without getting tangled or whatnot. Alright, right about there's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of bend up a little bit where I don't, or where I need to put double-sided tape to stick it down on that side. And then let's go over here, and we can just kind of take it and bend it to a certain point. Okay. So here's my bends. Anywhere that I have the bend, I'm putting double-sided tape, and I'm going to leave all of that open. Alright, and now I have this is a Tim Holtz size 8 tag that I had painted black. And I think I'm just going to stick, I don't know if I want to maybe, nope. I think I'm just going to cut it down to size. So probably about 3 inches right here. And I'm just going to stick it down there, and that'll be my writing spot for this page. Alright, so now I'm going to take my black Posca paint pen and I'm going to outline everything, but not the strings or the moving parts. But I will go in and I'll probably just color in the bits of the strings that you can see with the black Posca paint pen. And now I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little stitch border between here and here. And then I might go in and put a stitch border around this circle. Now I'm going to take my white Posca paint pen and make a stitch border around black. And that is it, guys. That is my page for the day. It's a little moving parts. I apologize I couldn't explain it that good or very well, but I hope you guys could get the gist of what to do. So I hope this page gives you some kind of inspiration for your journal pages. If you like the video, please give it a like. And I thank you so very much for watching. And until the next time, I hope you stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.